Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Every now and again, an individual will come up with an idea that is so amazingly stupid, you almost have to applaud it, because to actually come up with something that intensely dim must take talent. They must be able to have this idea, strip out anything that's good, obviate from their mind any kind of argument against it that would scream out to normal people about how stupid it is, then convince themselves that they're right, and then try and present this to other people as what they think is a bright idea, a great idea, and then have other people accept it. The level of IQ involved in this is somewhere, it's not even room temperature, it's single digits. And of course, it's an idea that comes from the Greens, because who else really is as stupid as this? We're going to take a look at this idea. It comes from Patrick Harvie, the world's most stupid man. He says that this idea will be brilliant for the environment. Well, first of all, no, it won't. Secondly, it's completely undoable. Thirdly, it not only doesn't solve any problems, it actually makes massive new ones. And every expert you ask will say, no, it's not achievable, it's a stupid idea. But then we've come to accept stupid ideas from the Greens, so why should this one be any different? Okay, let's go and have a look at Patrick Harvie's really stupid idea. Oh, his 94th really stupid idea anyway. Here goes. So Patrick Harvie had the result of a fever dream, one can assume. The idea that all future houses in Scotland will be sans gas. They'll have no gas boilers. They'll all be banned, and you're going to have to make do with very expensive, inefficient heat sources such as air source heat or ground source heat that in a cold environment like Scotland tends to be, have proved to be very, not very useful, let's put it that way. They don't heat the houses to the required level. They don't heat water to the required level. They are incredibly expensive to run because electricity prices in Britain are so amazingly high, artificially high, because you're paying extra levies for the Greens that the Greens have insisted on having. So they've artificially increased their own electricity prices, which they're now using to justify the switch to an all-electric heating system, which is way, way more expensive than the gas system and not as good, and therefore will prove unpopular. But it gets way worse than that, because that's only one level of stupidity. We are talking meta. We are talking stupid within stupid within stupid here. It is a whole ball of stupid, and right at the centre, of course, is the Grand Mekon of the Greens. A man who's like the anti-Mekon, really, isn't he? He's got this huge head, but in actual fact, there's no brain inside it. It's absolutely copiously empty. So Scottish ministers have been warned of the unintended consequences of an SNP Greens alliance policy to ban gas heaters for all new homes from April 2024. You know, this isn't an SNP policy. Like every other idea that comes out of Holyrood at the moment, it's purely the Greens. They're the only ones proposing anything because the SNP have literally run out of ideas, and so they're having to make do with these stupid ideas from the Greens. So a ban on all gas boilers for all new homes has been put forward by the Greens Minister Patrick I'm an Idiot Harvie. But developers have warned that the unintended consequences will worsen the crippling housing shortage. And that's only one other of the problems. There are lots of problems with this. So already, you see, you've got this housing crisis in Scotland. They can't build enough houses. The houses they can build are just too expensive because of the economy collapsing around them, because, again, SNP policy. And they want to do something that actually slows the build rate of houses and makes the houses more expensive. It's pure genius, isn't it? So the Greens policy will look to ban fossil fuel heating systems in all new homes built in Scotland. They come up with these ideas, but they don't have proposals for anything that's alternative, that works, because that would take intelligence, and that's not what they do. The Scottish Government has a target of 25,000 new homes per year, which is unachievable. And the programme is now set to include climate targets in step with the overall goal for net zero by 2040. Also, not even possible. And if it was 2140, it would still not be possible. We all know that net zero is a con, and it doesn't work. And it is nothing to do with the environment. It is everything to do with tax and control. Builders have warned that the cost of new housing will increase substantially. The electricity grid, it lacks the capacity because you're not generating enough electricity, because up there, strangely enough, you're not getting enough off solar, and all the unicorns have died, so you can't burn the unicorn farts. Anyway, he said there'll be issues with the supply chain because they don't have enough heaters, and this will all lead to a drop in the completion rate of houses. Harvie, however, said the proposals to use heat pumps, solar and electric energy instead of gas boilers will lead the way in cutting emissions. The man's a moron. Where do you think you're currently getting electricity from? It isn't the magic electricity tree. It's burning oil and gas, you idiot. You don't have enough land space to cover the entirety of Scotland in solar panels, and it doesn't produce much electricity when the wind ain't blowing. The only way you can do this, even though you say you want a nuclear-free Scotland, is to build, well, I think it was worked out, something like the Scotland needs 10 nuclear reactors. And that's for today. You make every house all-electric heating and every car an all-electric car. You can double that. Anyway, his one-size-fits-all approach, which is this usual thing that happens when people are a bit stupid and they don't understand the nuances, has been slated by Tory MSP Liam Kerr, who said the position will saddle homebuyers with further huge bills during a cost of living crisis. No, I'll tell you what, you won't have homebuyers. People won't buy these homes. There is a massive resistance. I've worked, like I say, people regulars know when I've said this, I worked in the house for a house builder for 30 years. People absolutely love gas central heating. It's cheaper than electricity, it's more controllable than electricity, it's easily understood. Electrical heating is incredibly expensive, and it is not what people want. And these ground source heat pumps don't generate the same level of heat as quickly. You come in from a cold day, whack that central heat on, bang, you're hot in no time. Do that with a ground source, it takes 2 days to warm that house up. Mr. Kerr, the party's shadow net zero energy and transport secretary, said huge additional costs will be imposed on householders and very possibly also on energy bills under Patrick Harvie's one-size-fits-all approach to reducing emissions. And here's the thing, you can close Scotland down, you can close the whole of the UK down tomorrow and it makes zero difference. There is lakes in Kazakhstan under their gas fields and under their oil fields. They have all these huge lakes that give off more greenhouse gases just by being lakes where they are than the whole of Britain. Closing Britain down does nothing, but it will increase the general level of poverty and misery, and that's what these joyless wankers want. Anyway, Liam Kerr was continued. The consultation shows that industry believes it will create a serious disincentive for the desperately needed new housing. It drives up costs and is having a disastrous impact on the wider economy. And once you destroy an economy, green issues go out the window because people are burning old pianos to keep warm. They don't care. And this is what the stupid people like Harvie don't get. Anyway, he says, we all want to see a managed, just transition towards net zero, but that means realistic, proportionate policies. The Greens' extreme position will saddle home buyers with further huge bills during a cost of living crisis. The thing is, nobody will buy these houses. These houses will go up, they'll build them and go, oh, look at these marvellous houses with all these ground source heat pumps. Oh, they're all built in, all marvellous. Why aren't we selling them? Because people are going, oh no, I'll just buy that old house over there. It's got a gas fire. I ain't paying for electricity. Have you seen the price of electricity? Have you seen the extra money and the charges you're putting onto electricity because of the green subsidy? No, no, no. I will have my gas fire. Thank you very much. Much nicer. And I'm warmer. And that's what will happen. That is absolutely what will happen. And you won't be able to sell these houses. The only way you'll sell them is to reduce the price. And then the house builders will go, well, what's the point of us building? We're not making a profit. I'm not building them. The house prices, like your Persimmons and your Wimbeys and all that, they'll all come out and they'll go, oh, why aren't we building any houses in Scotland? And they'll just go, energy policy. And then Scotland will have a massive housing crisis. Everybody sees it. Everybody knows. Everybody tells him. But he doesn't care because he's too stupid to understand that every time he opens his mouth, stupid pours out, and people just look at him and understand that he's an even bigger buffoon than even he realises he is. What a complete knob. Anyway, I shall round off there and come up and we'll finish the video. What is it with the Greens and their really stupid ideas? They sit there and they think, oh, this sounds good, this sounds virtuous, I can save the planet. Then you point out every single flaw, and there are many, there's at least 5 different flaws in this scheme alone. And they just ignore them because, oh, I'm not listening, fingers in ears, no, because they don't like the idea that their ideas are stupid. Sure, let's have energy efficient homes. Great idea. Let's do that. Let's move towards having a grid that can provide plentiful, cheap, clean electricity so that the likes of heat pumps can work. Although for your average house you'd probably need 2 just to generate enough heat to keep it warm in the winter, and that double the price. And of course not all houses are suitable. He's saying, oh, all new houses will have this. Yeah, not all houses are going to be sitting there with a large enough plot that you can put heat pumps down, into the ground, or even air source ones, which are even worse. Apart from the actual expense of them, they need to be serviced every year, which costs quite a lot of money. They're limited lifespan, so they need to be replaced every 7 to 8 years, which costs a lot of money, and so forth like that. So what he wants to do is just basically take away an efficient and yet fairly clean system of infrastructure that's already there, which is already there for when you replace natural gas slowly over time with higher rates of hydrogen going into it, which then makes it completely clean and green. The waste product of burning hydrogen is water. But he is too stupid to understand that because he's a green and therefore has the IQ of a turnip. Anyway, I shall stop there. Thank you very much for listening. If you like what you see and hear on the channel, please hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. Definitely leave a like though, that helps. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, keep warm, do not waste money on air source heat pumps because they are rubbish, and goodbye.